Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video, we're going to be playing with a fun technique, or at least going back to the very beginning, like things that you'll want to use. And I'm actually talking about stencils. So these are a majority of my 6x6 stencils. I have them in this container from Expressions. But stencils can come in all different sizes, like the Tim Holtz one, or even 12 by 12. They just, 8 by 10, 8 by 8. There's so many different sizes that they can come in. But for our purposes, we're just going to use the 6 by 6 size. And I think I'm going to grab this butterfly because it kind of works like a, what do they call it? Like a mask instead of just like your regular traditional stencil. And then the swirlies, I'm just double checking in the back here if there was something else I wanted to grab, but I think I'm going to do the swirlies instead. And we'll go ahead and pull these out of the container, okay? And then there's just a few things you're going to want to kind of use when it comes to stencils. So when I say we're going back to the basics, I mean like basically we're using ink and different applicators, okay? So we have oxides, I have a few of the Lisa Horton inks, and I have different holders from Crafter's Companion, from this one is Nuvo, the one is Nuvo, and then we have some of the other ones that look like makeup brushes and stuff like that. Oh, and these from Pink Fresh. I'm going to pull those out too. Now, in this video, I don't actually use the Pink Fresh ones, but I have used them in the past. So there's our oxide inks and then the Lisa Horton inks. And I'm going to pull over the other blue from Lisa Horton just in case. Okay, so I'm going to start with these two panels here. These we had done ink blending on a previous video, and now we're going to add some stenciling to them. And there's a couple of different things you can do to attach your stencil to your project. You can use pixie spray. You can also use washi tape. There are a lot of different what I want to say it like the maker from I think it's We Are Memory Keepers, where they have the magnets and you can hold down. There's some where they have like a sticky mat and you can put your paper and the stencil down on it to hold it in place. There's a lot of different tools that you can use. For today, we're just going to use our pixie spray and put it right down on top of the card front, and it makes it just so much easier. You don't have to worry about it moving or slipping and sliding. So at first I was going to grab the Pink Fresh, but I realized I used the oxides with those, and oxides and inks like the Lisa Horton, you don't want to mix them, okay? Because oxides has a different formula, and you really don't want to combine, those inks with some of your others. And this one operates a little bit more like a dye ink, even though it's metallic. It's hard to explain. I want to say they call it a was it a pigment? It's a hold on. It's a premium dye based metallic pigment ink. So it's a combo ink as well, but it's not like the same as an oxide. Do you know what I mean? So you just don't want to be mixing them. So once we did the color through that, I'm just cleaning, trying to make sure we get all the ink, as much of the ink off as possible. And we're going to do this between each usage. And then we're going to clean the stencil as well. And then put that to the side. And then on the blue, we're going to use these swirls, spraying it with the pixie spray as well. And like sometimes you could have like a cardboard box you can put it in and spray down. I hold mine up in the air and then kind of wave my hand, so hopefully it doesn't get sticky on anything. And for right now, that works for me. And for the traditional distress tool, I just put my foams on the back of my ink pads And I just use a little piece of Velcro. And if I turn it over and it doesn't have a pad, then either it's been worn out, and I just throw it out, and then eventually I'll get refills and we'll be able to put new ones behind ones that are missing. Now, I will say the Pixie spray, it really worked on this one. It took me a little bit to get this one off the card base, but look at that. I just love how this looks. And then I take the same ink and I'm just going around the edges. And that is such a beautiful background. Add a sentiment and you can be done. Okay? And that green one, I wish you could really see the metallic, the shine in person. It's really quite amazing. Okay, so again, we're going to clean. We're going to try and keep cleaning in between, only because I'm trying not to cross contaminate and I want to make sure that my stencils don't get stained. Okay, so for this one, I actually have some black foundations paper, and I wind up going back to the Uncharted Manor, but I'm going to turn this a little bit on the side. But I think I wind up using this Coastline from Lisa Horton. And with these metallic inks, that's the thing, is it's not like it's a glitter ink pad. It's really a metallic shine that you have when you tilt it in the light. So I'm putting this down on the black foundations paper, and I realize you can see it when I move the butterfly, but it's not really standing out the way that I want it to. So I kind of take a pause, and then I was like, well, maybe I just need to grab a little bit of this like tealy one. Maybe it would show up better, but it's still kind of just fading into the black ink, right? So what I decided to do, it comes to my mind, black paper, the oxides work really well on those. So eventually I'm going to put these to the side, and then I'm going to grab the Uncharted Mariner again and use the Distress tool. I'll put these two to the side and go ahead and cover the different areas. Try and, especially around the butterfly, make the color kind of stand out more. And what I'm going to do after I'm done with this, I'm going to throw this particular foam out because it was already on its last leg. And that way, if there's any ink, hopefully I've taken it off. If I did get some on that pad, but I won't cross-contaminate it anymore. And then, we'll be okay. And then when you lift it off, the resist is in the black paper, and then you still have the beautiful color. And then I just took what color was left on the sponge and went around the top and the side to really make it stand out where you can see that butterfly wing. And then in certain areas, when you tilt it, you get a little bit of shimmer that peeks out. It's really nice. I forgot I even had this butterfly stencil, but it just works. So stencils to me are probably one of the best tools to have in your craft room because they're inexpensive and you can use them over and over and over and over again. So many different techniques. You can use inks, you can use watercolors, you can use paste, you can use alcohol inks, you can use markers. I mean, the options that you have is really like an open book, right? And there's so many different tools. We're just touching on like the ink blending, just using the ink. And this one from Clarity Stamps, I don't know if you guys remember this one. This one gives you a very light application of the color. So like if you're trying to see color right away with this tool, you have to build it up. It's not going to just all of a sudden be very vibrant. And even the Vicki Boutin tool, to me, with the distress colors, I like the more dense what can I say? Like the bristles, you know what I mean? Where it almost feels like a hairbrush, nice and soft, dense, a lot of different hairs, a lot of hairs on it. That to me is the best for getting the saturation that you want, especially with putting the color on your base here that you're working on. But I just wanted to show you. So this green is a little bit more of a vibrant color. So I put it on the edge and I just start bringing it in with the clarity brush. And all I was doing was going back and forth very lightly. And you can see sort of like that change in the color, how it made it a little bit more vibrant green on the side. Those clarity brushes, I sleep on those because a lot of times I keep them in my drawer. But when they first came out, I thought they were so pretty because it just gave you a very light dusting of color. It was like, it was a different type of technique, especially when I think a lot of times all we really had at the time was the stress tool, the one that's sitting on top of my crushed olive, I think it is, ink pad right there. So I clean these the same way. I'll spray them with the cleaner. I'll spray my microfiber towel and then brush along. That's what I did with Vicky's. I didn't really use a lot of ink on that one, so it didn't take much to clean it. You can also put those underneath the water, like in your sink, and clean it that way. But if you can't make it and you just need to clean it in your craft room, this is an option as well. Okay, and then the one thing I did forget was the two small ones with the blue. But you'll see here, I'm going to fold them up, and then right here, I'm taking the wet cloth and trying to clean it, and then I spray both with the I'm using the honeysuckle spray from Brutus Monroe, the squeaky clean. It's for stamps, but I use it to clean everything. Sometimes my desktop, sometimes, you know, my brushes. It just depends. And then of course stamps. All right, so now I know everyone has been seeing these waffle flower. They have like a postage stamp set that they've been doing, and they've been coming out with all these different themes and looks and stuff. Well, this is the stencil where you can put different colors or color block those postage areas. So I'm going to take the crushed olive and I'm going to color in all of the boxes just using the crushed olive oxide ink. And so the idea is when we go to put this into a final project, then all our boxes are already colored. The next step would be either stamping inside each block. You could put characters, you could put words, you could put flowers or butterflies. There's so much you can do. And then here, I forgot to clean off the front of the stencil. So I take my cloth and I go to wipe it up, and just some of the green does get onto the cardstock, but I decided I wanted to use the Lisa Horton blue, and if it had a little bit of green on it, it was going to be all right. So I'm just going to go ahead in here and start laying on the Lisa Horton the Coastline, excuse me, Cloud9 ink on the different squares. And if you have any area where it looks like it didn't get blended well, just keep going over with your brush and it will eventually smooth out, okay? I highly suggest that you play with your inks with brushes and things like this, because you won't know how they react until you start using them, right? So at first I was like, oh my God, look, there's this huge circle, because I wasn't like doing all my circling blending initially. But as I kept just adding ink, it smoothed out and it's okay. So we just keep on putting it on and then smooth it out. And then we got our last square. And again, until it's smooth. All right. And then we'll go ahead and take that backing off. And then those are the different sections for that color blocking. All right. So that's everything. Everything that we brought out today to play with. Now, I mean, you can never end with the videos with this with stencils and what you can use them for. They're good for cards. They're good for your scrapbooks. They're good for your obviously your layouts. I was thinking of like your journaling and stuff like that. Like every crafter should have at least, I would say, a good 10 stencils because you're going to want to have your basics, some hearts, stars, maybe some circles, like your basic shapes. And then you might want to find some fun ones like the lattice or the butterfly or the swirlies, stuff like that. Just something that you think you could use on multiple projects and, not limit yourself to just one thing per se. Okay, so thank you guys for joining me today. Keep an eye out because I will have a video showing these as finished projects. Thanks again, y'all, and have a great day.